morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
In breaking news right now, crews rushing to the scene of a fire at an apartment complex. We'll tell you why officials say everything could have been much worse than it was.
And we are watching and waiting for a verdict in the Alex Jones defamation trial. The questions jurors asked and the judge and what she had to say.
Also developing overnight, a stabbing investigation underway after one person was hurt. We'll tell you what we know about their condition.
He had no idea if his other two friends were alive or dead.
3 men beating the odds after their boat sank. We're going to have their story of survival ahead.
That is an amazing one, yes.
Yeah. Good morning. Thanks so much for being with us here at Fox 61. I'm Eric Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Let's start with the weather as we take a live look over Rocky Hill right now. The ferry, nice and quiet. It's going to be ramping up things fairly soon as we're waiting for the sun to come up. Meteorologist Matt Scott joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning. Be honest. Have you ever rode that ferry?
No. My cousin Mia does almost daily. She loves it.
Yeah, really?
It's been on my list to go.
I've done the Chester Headline one, and it really is such a throwback.
I love how you say be honest as if we would lie about it.
Oh, I ride that every day, every my lunch break. No. I mean, it's one of those things we always look at and we go, oh, that looks great. And I think people miss out because it really is such a taste of almost like Americana in a way. It's such a throwback there. Good morning to you. No lying here. One more beautiful day. We are waiting for a decent amount of rain coming in tomorrow night. The good news is we can use the rain. The better news is we'll get it out of the way for the weekend. It's a quiet weather weekend with cooler temperatures. 47 in Hartford, 48 in New Haven, 45 in Groton right now. Mild temperatures ruling the roost with a very light, if not completely calm wind out of the west. Again, looking for visibility issues, not finding any. I'm going to pull the view out way so you can see over the Ohio Valley into the Midwest. Here comes that front. Ahead of it, a couple of scattered showers by tomorrow night. There's your rainmaker. Gets out of the way. Early Friday, I don't think the football games will be affected other than maybe a couple of wet bleachers out there. 46 for the high schoolers getting on the bus this hour. 72, beautiful day with a good half a dozen degrees above normal later on. Talk about the cool down and what the weekend has in store for us. That's all coming up. 6:02, traffic woman Lauren Zenzi. You ever ride the ferry?
Yes, several times.
There you go.
We rode it a couple times this past summer. Preston absolutely loves it.
It's just so
It's like a 15-minute thing from getting your car on or riding your bike on. It's so much fun.
And again, it's so. I mean, it's bridges obviously took the need for these ferries gone, but it's still so cool. What a throwback!
Yeah. And they give kids stickers.
Hey, even really better. What more do you need?
I know Rachel Piscatelli actually has a bunch in her office.
You don't get any stickers crossing a bridge.
Good morning, everyone. That issue over in Thompson has cleared over on 395. So as of right now, no incidents to report out on the road. Let's bring you out to the maps and to our drive times. You can see Cromwell to Middletown will take you about 2 minutes. Route 9 to 91 North will take you about 11 minutes. And Rocky Hill to Hartford is moving just fine at this time. Construction has cleared in both directions, 91 North and southbound, moving just fine this morning now that construction has wrapped up. Over on I-84 east and westbound, things are looking good in and out of the Mixmaster. Now the construction is cleared. New Haven following suit, 91 and 95 looking good. Down in Fairfield County, those delays starting to ramp up between Westport and Norwalk. Otherwise, other than that, Route 15 is looking good. We'll check back in coming up in the next half hour, but for now, Tim and Erica, back over to you.
Hi, Lauren, thank you. Well, an early morning fire at a condo complex in South Windsor wound up tearing through 4 units. And despite that, firefighters said it could have been worse.
Yeah, Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc is joining us now live at the complex on Amato Drive. Julia, what have we learned?
Hi, good morning to you both. I want to start off with the good news here, and that is that everyone was able to get out of this condo complex okay, and nobody was hurt. Now, take a look behind us there. You can see the fire marshals now combing through the damage to try to figure out the cause and origin of what happened here. You're actually looking at the 2 units on the bottom floor that were not impacted as heavily as the 2 units on the top floor, but because of that top light right now, we can't really see see that extensive damage, but you can see what they're sweeping up on the bottom of the floor now. Now, firefighters tell us they got a call around 1 o'clock this morning from people who were inside of the building. And when firefighters got here in just a couple minutes, when they responded, they saw that there was heavy fire in the top 2 units. And at that point, the fire had already extended to the roof at that point as well. The 2 people who were living on the top, just 1 person in each unit, were told were able to escape by themselves. They were able to self-evacuate, and the 2 people on the bottom were not home at the time, even though those 2 units are occupied. Now, the power to the whole building has been knocked down at this point. They're trying to call in an electrician to restore the power. We just talked to the property manager about this whole situation. It is everybody's worst nightmare. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I hate this kind of situation. This community, unfortunately, has had a couple of fires over the years, and it's devastating for the people that live here. It's really a pain. But the association has good insurance, and so we'll do everything we can and move this along as quickly as possible.
Now, one thing I do want to mention, the chief says this is best case scenario in terms of the damage, which again, unfortunately, you can't really see right now because that light is shining back at us at this point. But he says because both people had smoke alarms. Everyone had working smoke alarms in the building. They had a plan to self-evacuate. They didn't go back in the building. He says everything went as well as it could in terms of saving people's lives. And he says during this fire prevention week, which happens to be right now, it's a lesson for all of us at home to have that plan, to have smoke alarms, and to escape as soon as possible and never go back inside. Of course, we will let you know the cause and origin of this fire once they figure that out. However, they are working right now to just find out that information at this point. We will send it back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, Julia, thank you. A few towns over, breaking news in Bolton this morning. One man was seriously hurt after a stabbing last night. It happened at an apartment building on Boston Turnpike just before 8 p.m. The victim was taken to Manchester Hospital with life-threatening injuries. State police have not said if they have a suspect or if anybody is in custody at this point, but troopers said they know it's an isolated incident and that there's no threat to the public.
6:07 right now, and as soon as today, jurors could reach a verdict in the Alex Jones defamation trial. Jury deliberations continued yesterday for a second full day. Now, what the jury did ask some questions, some clarification yesterday as they consider how much Alex Jones would have to pay Sandy Hook families and 1 FBI agent in damages. The judge reading their question aloud in court.
You must attempt to put each plaintiff in the same position as far as money can do it, that they would have been in had the defendant not engaged in the wrongful conduct, end quote. Can you please clarify the meaning of this?
After that, attorneys on both sides had a chance to weigh in. The plaintiff's attorneys wanted to direct jurors to other parts of the charge.
The more specific portions of the charge with regard to emotional distress damages and defamation damages are specific to this case and so provide the most guidance for the jury.
And then Alex Jones' attorney, Norm Pattis, argued that their questions showed that jurors were troubled by the portion having to do with compensatory damages.
I think it would be error to instruct the jury to place less weight on any particular part of the charge. If money can't do it, then money doesn't do it.
The judge eventually giving her answer to the jury.
Focusing on 1 or 2 sentences in isolation when considering a jury charge can often be unhelpful or confusing. Therefore, you should not single out particular words, phrases, or sentences, and you should consider the charge as a whole.
Before adjourning for the day, the jury had a note asking to view Bill Sherlock's testimony. He's the husband of Mary Sherlock, the school psychologist who was one of the first people to be killed confronting the gunman. Now, with no verdict reached, the jury is expected to start their day with that testimony. And of course, we're going to have continuing coverage as we await the verdict of the Alex Jones defamation trial. Our reporters and photojournalists are out there working hard to bring you the latest on air, online, and always on Fox 61 Plus.
Right now at 6, the man accused of shooting a New Haven police officer is now facing an attempted murder charge. That's just one of the charges Jose Claudio is facing. He's accused of shooting Officer Chad Curry while Curry was checking out a car crash early Friday morning. Officers caught up to Claudio several hours later at a home in Hartford. And Mr. Claudio's brother told Fox 61 that Claudio was on drugs.
It's just the streets are just full of stuff, you know what I mean?
Do you have any idea why he decided he felt it was necessary to shoot the cop?
That's what drugs do, you know? Turns your mind crazy.
Now, Claudio's bond increased to $1.5 million in the case. New Haven's police chief thanked Claudio's family for cooperating and helping to find him last week.